Hello everyone, welcome to Straight to VOD, the number one place you can get movie reviews for movies that no one else is talking about. But I guess today we're kind of throwing that out the window while we're talking about a Netflix film which arguably a lot of people are going to be watching, but I don't care. It's a VOD film, so here we are. Rebel Ridge was directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who also did Green Room and Blue Ruin. So Saulnier started his filmmaking career with being a cinematographer, and that really shows later on as he became a director because the cinematography in his films are pretty much top-notch when it comes to that. And Rebel Ridge is no exception, and I think that a lot of people don't really realize what cinematography does for film. You know, me and you know about it because we're film nerds and we know that stuff, but I think the general audience doesn't really understand how much cinematography can elevate a film that is kind of lacking in terms of plot, story, and anything else. I think of films like the Extraction franchise, which is kind of funny because that is also a Netflix movie franchise. I wonder if that's a coincidence. But in those films, the cinematography is the standout aspect about that film, and it really elevates a kind of mundane and generic story of like a military dude getting people in and out of different situations, and it elevates it to like an almost godlike status of like, you have to see this movie because of that one scene or these couple of scenes. And if you haven't seen Extraction, those two films, especially Extraction 2, the opening scene in the prison, man, you gotta watch it because, like I said, the cinematography is amazing. And with all that said, me talking about cinematography and how this director is synonymous with the cinematography in his films, I did feel like Rebel Ridge kind of disappointed me in that aspect. I'm not saying that the cinematography is bad in this film, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more leaning into the cinematography, and we get like 3 really good scenes where the cinematography is utilized, and the rest of the film is, well, we'll get into that. The way this film gets started kind of left me confused the entire runtime. Right off the bat, it kind of makes you question, like, why was this guy targeted? And if it was anybody else, then this movie wouldn't be lasting any longer. And I know, I'm not blind. I know why this guy was targeted, and it's in America, so I kind of get it. I understand why. But for the sake of the plot, like I said before, if this was any other person, this is random dude, if you just got Joe Dirt just walking down the street and they stopped him, the movie would have ended in 10 minutes. So the rest of the film, I was literally thinking about that and thinking like, this wouldn't have been happening. None of this stuff would be unraveling. The mysteries of this town, the corruption and everything would not have been touched upon if they didn't stop this one guy. So it just kind of irked me a little bit. But let me know what you think about that. Am I the only one? I don't know if it's just me or not, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Was that something that stuck out to you? Were you kind of annoyed by it? Let me know. But what kept me watching and kept me invested in this film were the performances. And my God, is the acting in this film top tier. And it's primarily due to the leads Pierre and AnnaSophia Robb. They are amazing and they ooze chemistry when both of them are on the screen. And it's not leading into what you would think that it would lead to in these kind of films, but their chemistry is really on point, and it kind of keeps the movie going forward because you're invested in these characters. You want to see these characters succeed, and trust me, you need that in this film because the rest of it is kind of like, we've seen this before. you know where it's gonna go, you know where it's gonna lead. But I do think it's a little weird how the two leads meet. It's kind of random, but I guess that's just how this film goes. It's just put you in random situations and says, hey, just go with it. It's going to be worth it in the end. But I do think that it's kind of funny that originally John Boyega was set to lead this film, but due to a personal family reason, he had left. But there's also some reports that he was really hard to work with on set. He demanded a lot of the crew and everything. There's just some mixed and controversial things going on with that. But even with that knowledge of knowing that John Boyega was supposed to star in this film, and after watching Pierre's version, what he took of this, and I was like, you know what? John Boyega? Can't see him as this lead actor in this film.
No, Randy?
It's a no for me, dog.
And I like John Boyega, you know. Kind of got me through the Star Wars franchise, but we know what they did to him in that.
Right, come on!
We can't follow him!
I can't leave her!
We can't!
Right!
Look how they massacred my boy.
And for a film that is listed on Rotten Tomatoes as an action drama, I feel like it's more of a political thriller than anything because of all the mysteries that get unraveled in this film. There isn't that much action in this film, so if you're coming into it like expecting a lot of action, kind of temper your expectations because there isn't that much. But when the action does come on the scene, and it will eventually come, it's worth the wait because especially that ending sequence, mwah, chef's kiss, top performance. That's when you see the cinematography in all its glory. Man, I just wish that we had a little bit more of that in this film. Because when we are not having those scenes with a lot of cinematography and the action sequences and everything, it kind of leans onto its characters. And while I said they're good performances, the writing and everything kind of makes it feel like it's dragging on a bit. And like I said, the 45 minutes that they could have chopped off, I think it would have made the film a little bit tighter. But overall, guys, I do really enjoy Rebel Ridge. I think it's worth your time. I mean, it's on Netflix. If you have a subscription, check it out. It is 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours, so keep that in mind. Bring your popcorn. But I did feel like that in terms of plot and the writing a little bit, it's kind of weak in that aspect, but the cinematography and the acting do make up for it. But guys, let me know what you think of Rebel Ridge in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think that John Boyega would have been a better lead in this film than the guy that we got now? I personally, you know what I think? I don't think so, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and video. And remember, guys, keep watching movies.